When you think of carpaccio, you're thinking beef, right? Well, not on this recipe. What we're doing is we're doing some oven roasted multicolored beets with a nice vinaigrette. Let's get cooking with style. All right, the first step that you're going to have to do is get these beets ready. This is a raw beet. We're just going to take a little bit of neutral oil. You could use olive oil if you'd like. And then we're going to season this with a little bit of salt. And then you're just going to wrap this up and it's going to go in an oven. 375, 400, pop it in the oven. I use a baking dish. Do as many as you like for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes. This is what they look like when they come out. If you're going to do different colored ones, do the red ones last because it'll stain your hands. And all you're going to do is just cut off the top like this, and then you're just going to run the knife down around the outside. So I'll get this one peeled, and then we'll be ready to start getting them sliced, and I'll show you how to do that as well. All right, so you see how red my hand, they got stained from that. Now, if you don't have a mandolin, you can use a knife, but if you do use a mandolin, use the guard. And what we want are nice thin slices. And you have to do this slow to get this to slice really nicely. But let me show you what they look like when we slice them. See how nice and thin that is? So I'm going to slice up the rest of these beets and get everything ready. Then we'll make the dressing and put it all together. All right, I've got these pretty much arranged. You can see how we've made a little kind of like almost like a flower. I'm going to put the last few little slices of that beet carpaccio there. Let's make this dressing, okay? It's really simple. We've done it a bunch of times, but it's just a little bit of olive oil. We're using some red wine vinegar. We're using some lemon juice. I've got zest of lemon, parsley, and I've got a little bit of Dijon mustard there. And we're going to take a little splash or squeeze in this instance of honey, about a tablespoon, a good pinch of salt, and then about 3 or 4 turns of that black pepper. We're just going to whip this up. And if you have a little whisk, it'll make it a lot easier and it'll pull everything together much quicker. We want to emulsify this and get it all ready to go. Okay, let's do the finishing touches here. All right, we've got our beets there. We're going to take a little bit of feta cheese, sprinkle that over the top. We're going to take some of these toasted walnuts. And then we're going to just take a few, not a lot, just enough to add a little color, some of this arugula, and we're going to sprinkle it over the top because these kind of add a pepperiness to it. And then to that, I'm just going to take this beautiful dressing that I've whipped up. Let's get that guy back in there. We don't want him to be left out. And we'll give that a nice little swirl, and we'll put that over the top. And you know, this is so refreshing and kind of different than, you know, your typical beef carpaccio. So this will make all the vegetarians at your house happy, and it'll make all your beef eaters happy. So there you go. A beet carpaccio with a little vinaigrette, feta cheese. I'm telling you what, this is a perfect way to start off a meal, or maybe a light lunch with some French bread. If you'd like this recipe, you can go to our website, cbs8.com/recipes. Enjoy.